Hi everyone, this is Xander and this is my weight loss journey, part 7. This is taking place during summertime of '05, but before I go into telling the story, I want to say names will not be mentioned in here, and some of the material in this story may not be suitable for your kids. So on with the story. In the summertime of 2005, I remember my uncle and I going to my adoptive dad and stepmom's new house so I can move in. And the first place we go to is the old trailer I used to live in. They weren't there. So now my uncle and I have to figure out how we're going to get there. We travel very far from the old trailer park all the way to a house which is another trailer all the way on a different side of Lakeland. We get there, I'm thinking, the old man might have changed and everything should be going smoothly by now. Well, I get there, we unpack my stuff, my uncle and I get everything out and I get settled in. So my adoptive dad and stepmom go grocery shopping, and just when I thought the man's temper was gone, he gets mad because I'm not helping bringing the groceries in. May I remind you, this is what I did not like about them. So now I'm thinking to myself, okay, you may have not changed, but there was a nicer way to put it, and you didn't have to lose your cool about it. So I help her out, do what I gotta do to keep his mouth shut. But just when I thought the summertime was gonna somewhat get better, in a way it was fun, in a way it wasn't. The man's temper made it not so fun. Excuse me for that error. So during the summertime, I remember one of the things he had me try out was the tractor. I tried driving his tractor until I had a panic attack crashing into the fence. I freaked out so bad, he had to come and help me get the tractor backed up. So instead of teaching me how to back up the tractor, he says, "Get off the tractor now." And then he shows me, see, all you had to do was back it up. And he gets like a little sarcastic, and he says, "Don't ever use my tractor again, Chad," which is actually my real name. So I'm like, okay. But what I didn't know is I lost his trust. So I went ahead, continued doing yard work to keep his mouth shut and to do my part for that day. And dinner was ready, everyone went in, we were all hungry, and it turned out to be an amazing dinner. So after that day, more problems happened during the summertime. I would say I had to help out with my nieces and nephews, play with my nephew outside. He got to be a bit pesky, but the good thing is, whenever I found a way to keep him occupied, the peskiness stopped, which was good for me because at least I knew I was doing what I needed to do and no one had any way of getting on my case. Then came, then came the goats. My adoptive dad and stepmom got 2 pygmy goats, which is female goats, during that time, and I helped take care of them, or my adoptive dad did. And when I helped take care of both of those goats, it felt nice to have some type of responsibility. One goat let me pat it, the other did not. But I'll tell you, I loved helping out with those goats. They got a new dog, the dog was adorable. Helped out with that. You see, as long as I kept myself occupied, The adoptive dad's mouth stayed shut. I was doing what I needed to do. No one had any problems. Going to church is fun, but going to church with my adoptive dad and stepmom, not so much. You see, I go there and my adoptive dad is basically getting on my case for sleeping in church. Now, I know it was being disrespectful, don't get me wrong, but there was other ways of getting on to me without having to cuss and yell right after you get out of church. You see my dilemma here? I'm sure you do. I never liked the man's attitude, but I guess God put me in his life for a reason. To help me learn how to handle people like him. I never liked his restrictions from music, movies, or any of the sort. I never did. And dealing with that, I tell you, it wasn't any fun. The only time I got away from the man is when I was going to my adoptive sister's house to spend the night. I go there, I get a break from him, which he gets a break from me. So it was all good from there. I had a couple of fun times and I basically kept to myself. My nephew and nieces would spend the night and I'd help out with them and vice versa. So, yeah, summertime of '05, I tell you, I had my fun times, but then again, I had my worst times. Dealing with a military man with an attitude during that summertime was only the beginning. For what I didn't know, in the years to come, things were about to get much worse. Because just when you think he's changed his ways, drinking non-alcoholic beer, that attitude just doesn't want to go away. You think he'd change, but it's not going away. So, let me brief you in on what's going to happen in Part 8. Part 8, I'm going to go into talking about my third high school and the start of it. And I'm going to go into talking about what I had to go through during that time, from dealing with my adoptive dad and making sure I keep up with my grades, to dealing with becoming Mr. Popular and what popularity did for me, from the good and the bad, and doing probably one of the worst things anyone could ever do. And my question to you is, this one thing that I did would determine a question for you. I did something I shouldn't have done, but keep this in mind, this question. Did or did I not get away with it? All these questions and much, much more in Part 8. Or answers to these questions, excuse my head. So, I end this by saying thank you for watching. God bless you. And it's been fun doing Part 7. Bye.